GH Armory here with my brother John.
Hey.
And John was just asking me a question about red dot sights for his rifle. So he just picked up a Tavor X95 and wanted to get some type of red dot sight. So we're going to talk about red dot sights. I've got a couple of samples here. We're going to show you what they look like and what the differences are, because I have 3 different technologies. So John, first question about red dot sights is, what kind of shooting are you going to be doing with it?
That is a good question. Probably mostly range, maybe some 3-gun competition kinds of things.
Okay.
So there's, you know, the different distances that are involved in that depending on the competition.
Okay, true. And so, and the distances can get out there in 3-gun.
For sure.
So the different types of red dots can help you. So if it's 3-gun close range, then you're really getting rapid, but you know, there's a conversation among the 3-gun shooters whether a red dot or iron sights would be good. So a lot of people will put iron sights at 45 degrees. So if they're aiming their rifle, they can't 45 degrees for close targets and then straight up for long targets. But you can also get a 45-degree mount for a red dot sight. And so that's a matter of preference there. The question then is, you know, so now we're at the red dot. Red dots are really good out to medium range. They're not great at super long range. And when you look at this and look at the setup we've got to show you, you'll really see why.
Is it basically just iron sights plus?
It's a little more complicated than that.
Okay.
Because you have optics involved. So the 3 types of red dots that we have is, we have 2 different manufacturer / technologies of what they call holographic reflex sights. A holographic sight, the theory is it puts the red image physically in space. Regardless of where you move your head, you'll see that red dot stay in place.
Science.
Okay. Now, the 2 that we have do it at different levels.
Okay.
So the first one we'll show you, I already shot a video offline with that. We'll splice it in here. But it's a Bushnell Reflex, and I've got it on this MCK conversion kit. There's no pistol in here yet. You turn this on by taking off the cover.
Okay.
It's got a little light sensor here, and then the red dot appears in here. Okay. Now, John, if you'll grab that and shoulder it and aim at our yellow target down there.
Oh, hey, there's a red dot.
Right. Now, if you move your head at 55 feet, which is where our target is, and again, you'll see this in the video we splice in, it's going to move in a circle about 4 inches.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's okay for 55 feet. 17 meters is exactly what it is at this distance, which is right at 55 feet. So it's good for close range.
Okay.
Okay. But it's not great. It's also got a very, very small footprint. If you look at this, there's a very small opening, so you have to really be aligned.
Yes.
And you saw John's cheek weld to be able to see the sight. You know, you come in, you get your cheek weld, and there you are. If you don't have the right cheek weld, you're not going to find that dot. Okay. So that's the Bushnell. Now that's great for, you know, pistol caliber type conversations like this MCK, which will take a Glock 19 in here. This does have a stock on it, which would make it a short barrel rifle, which is going to be our next video talking about short barrel rifles. The gun that's supposed to be in here is currently getting serviced, so that's why it's not here.
And what's the estimated retail price of something like that Bushnell? Range-ish.
I will have to post it in the comments because I have no clue.
Details down below.
Yes. The second reflex sight we've got is an Eotech. These are military law enforcement standard, much more durable. You can see it's
much larger.
Much larger. And behind it, we've got a 7x magnifier.
And that's all that is.
That's all that is. It's a big magnifying glass.
Okay.
Okay. Now on this one, you've got pop-up front and rear irons that co-witness with the red dot.
Okay.
so that you have a backup, because this is designed to be a law enforcement combat weapon. It's a demonstration model we have. So to turn on the Eotech, you press the up button, and then we get a little reticle. So there's a circle reticle. So if you want to look through that, and again, we'll show you through the video.
Yeah.
Totally different. Now, if you move your head on this one, it's going to be a different amount of motion of the red.
But not much.
Not, I mean, it's not much movement at all.
Yeah.
It's a very high quality reflex sight. The idea with the Eotech is at these ranges and even longer ranges now.
Oh. Yeah.
So now you have a 7-power scope.
Yeah.
Okay. So this way for 3-gun, what you're doing is you're flipping your scope back and forth as you transition.
Right.
Doable? Yes. Ideal? Maybe. So you have choices, and we could always put 90-degree or 45-degree sights on the side, so that you would take your rifle, rotate 45 degrees, and be able to hit close targets, long targets with your 7x power scope, or mid-range targets by pulling the thing off. Now this you turn off by pressing both of those, and I always check it. This model uses a CR123 battery.
What did the Bushnell use?
The Bushnell uses a little watch battery in there.
Okay, so if it's on for a long time,
it'll burn out.
It'll die.
Now it's rated at super long runtime because it's just a little tiny LED.
Right.
So is this guy, but he uses a good bit more power.
Super long run time is hours, days.
That one I think is 4,000 hours.
Okay.
But this one is 1,000 hours, I believe. It's on up there. However, 1,000 hours when you leave it on, even 4,000 hours when you leave it on, adds up quick. You do not want it to fail when you need it most.
Right.
So make sure to turn it off when you're not using it. The Eotech MSRP is mid 500s.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. This Sightmark, which is a third-party magnifier, is $200 MSRP.
Okay.
Eotech makes a pairing. They actually make two. They make a separate detached magnifier, and then they make one that's a monolithic combined set. And in their combined one, the buttons, instead of being back here, are on the side, so they're more readily accessible because their magnifier is designed to be right up against.
But it's still flip-awayable?
Or
is it always magnified?
It is flip-awayable.
Okay.
Now this one slides and rotates. The other one, the Eotech one, has a press button that flips it to the side, so it just spins. I think this slide and flip is probably a way to get around patents. But anyway, the Eotech is very reliable. Now this is one of the ones that was during the era of the recall. So Eotech had a recall on these where in certain circumstances it would get moisture inside and the light would just get dim. That was it. So for a period of time, if you had one of them that was manufactured during that period, you could send it in. They'd either give you a full MSRP refund, which is pretty impressive,
yeah,
or they'd replace it for you at no cost.
And this has not been replaced?
This one has not been replaced.
Okay.
Because it didn't get the moisture in it.
Yeah.
So,
so that's speaking of, you mentioned, I don't know what you mentioned that made me think of this, but is there like brightness controls? Do you need to change that for night using versus day using?
Okay. Yes, that's a great question. So, pull this out of the way. So on the back here, you have brightness controls. It's brightness up, brightness down.
Okay.
Press both to turn it off. It remembers what brightness setting you were at last time. Now, on night vision enabled models, which is if you're using a night vision goggle, this which is a round disc, would be a button. And that button would turn it into night vision mode, which will change the color so it doesn't screw up your night vision. It'll change it to green. So that's a second possibility.
Okay.
Okay. And again, we're gonna put that on the mount and show you what it looks like at the target as you move your head. Now this is the third one. Pop these silly covers off.
Oh, I love
To
covers
keep
that
them-
you can lose.
Yeah, keep the moisture out. Okay, this is a cheapo Red Dot Scope.
Okay.
This is not a reflex. This one, you turn on, and you have to line up just like a scope, and it works just like a scope. Okay?
Oh, that's really hard to see.
And that's on maximum brightness.
Okay.
So this one, it has a red dot instead of a scope reticle,
Okay.
kind of like an illuminated scope with just a dot. It's cute, and it's suitable for this weapon, and I'll show you why in a second. This is not a 3-gun weapon. Turn that off. So this sequence, bolt open, rotate, unlock.
Oh, wow.
Bolt closed, pivot, and now you have a ridiculous small package. Now, this one is registered as a short barrel rifle, which is an NFA item. DH Armory, we are a Class 2 manufacturer, so we can manufacture these. We do manufacture and sell this model for customers either as a pistol or as a short barrel rifle. Okay, so to put it back
just
together,
have a longer barrel and have it not be a short barrel rifle?
yes. But the detachable barrels, when you go longer, tend to be a little less stable because we're taking it apart at the mounting point here.
Right. You have a point of motion, rotation,
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's a lever.
Finicky.
Yeah. But I mean, disassemble and reassemble in
Seconds.
seconds.
Yeah.
So this, we sell to law enforcement agencies as a, backpack type covert weapon, with a pistol stock, manufactured as a pistol. It's very small, it's very lightweight. This one is in 300 blackout, and it's got the Gemtech adapter to put a suppressor on it. And 300 blackout runs exceptionally well suppressed. So this is a SBR. And our next video, we're going to be talking about SBR, whether you want to do a Form 1 versus a Form 4. Because the guys over at Classic Firearms, who make great videos, they asked that question on their last video. Should you Form 1 or Form 4 in SBR? That was a great question.
They
didn't answer it.
They didn't.
You watched it. It was
Yeah.
great. Beautiful
Lots of
video.
information.
Lots of information.
I mean, you can make up your own mind based on the information they gave you if you want
Almost.
to. Yeah.
They
but
didn't tell you a couple of things that might help you make up your mind. So our next video, we'll talk about SBR, whether Form 1 or Form 4 is a better way to go. The ATF just today released the new eForms application. It is way better than it used to be. You can now do it as a civilian and as opposed to just a federal firearms licensee. So you can do your Form 1s online. They're now promising that they're going to go for 90-day turnaround,
Seems shocking.
which is shocking. Previously, you were talking about 11, 12, 14 months
Yeah.
turnaround on approvals. For a Form 4, Form 1s were a little better. So we don't know what new approval times are going to be with the new electronic forms, but we'll talk about that in our next video.
Awesome.
And we'll get into a lot of detail about Form 1 versus Form 4 versus Form 2.
Because I don't have any idea what to do.
Which is what, Form 2 is what firearms manufacturers do. All right? So we're going to film down the
barrel.
down the scope. We're going to look at the different ones, and we're going to see how they look.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, guys. Remember, subscribe for other videos. Like the video if you liked it. If you have any questions, enter them in the comments, and we will be glad to answer them. And look for the prices on all these three in the comments as well.
Yep.
Now, the one I didn't cover, which is another option, and I'll just mention it, is you can get a bolt-on laser pointer. Okay, they have them that are grip mounted. They've got one that Crimson Trace makes that has a grip back here, so you grab the grip and it lights it up here, and they're communicating back and forth. They're nice, but now that you've got an external light, that everybody knows where you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, that's a choice conversation for a 3-gun competition, if they allow it. I don't know if that's allowed in the rules.
I don't either.
But we'll check and put it in the comments. It could work because you're not having to worry about people knowing where you are.
Right.
But otherwise, I like the Eotech. The Eotech is my favorite. I just picked up the Bushnell little reflex one. I haven't played with it much yet because I'm waiting to get the
gun
special Glock in it.
Yeah.
So that'll be another one. We'll do a video with that, and we'll actually shoot it. So it'll be another video. But anyway, thank you for your time. Remember, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.
And go turn off the video and hope it worked the whole time. And it did. Oh. So that'll be another one. We'll do a video with that, and we'll actually shoot it. So it'll be another video. But anyway, thank you for your time. Remember, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.
And go turn off the video and hope it worked the whole time. And it did. Oh.